Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about my May beauty favorites. I'm so excited. I've got quite a few things here, so let's go ahead and just jump right in. If you are new to this channel, what I like to do is do some B-roll and you'll see some cutaways of me applying as many of these products as possible. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with some base products. So I don't really have any foundations that stuck out to me in the month of May. What I have been doing and what I talked about in my seasonal beauty switch up is that I really like to keep my base very, very light. So what I've been doing is just using glowy bases, SPFs that maybe are a little bit tinted. But the one that I've kind of pulled out from last year and that I haven't been able to use until last month is the Victoria Beckham Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer in Golden. So I used to have both shades. She has one that's just like the original that doesn't really have a tint. This Golden definitely has a little bit of a tint, and up until, I want to say up until a little bit into May, I haven't been able to use this, but I get a little bit of color, even though I wear SPF, I just get a little bit of color kind of slowly as the summer progresses here in Vegas. So I felt more comfortable wearing this. Otherwise, it was just too golden. It was too golden for my skin tone, but I feel like it kind of blends into my neck and everything a little bit more nicely these days. So that's what I have all over my face. I love the glow and the sheen that it gives my skin. I love just that slight tint of a bronze that it gives me. It just makes me look a lot healthier than I actually am. So that is what I've been wearing a lot over this past month. And like I said, just a few other things that I've already mentioned, so I'm not going to bore you with, but that is the one that I feel like has kind of been resurrected. So that's the product I've been using a lot this past month. And when I use something light like this, I do like to just kind of spot conceal. So I've been using two concealers. One, the Dior Backstage Concealer. This has shown up in my favorites, I think, ever since I got it, probably the past 2 months. So I wanted to share a new concealer that I've been enjoying and that I use today. This is I think it's the Hydra Beam. Yeah, it's the Hydra Beam concealer, and I can't actually read the label. Let me get out my readers. I actually remember to bring my readers back here. So this is shade number 2 that I've been using, and it is a little bit peachier than one. One is the other one that I was using, and I was using that, I want to say when I first got it, I was a little bit more pale, but with a golden base like this, and I've gotten a little bit of color, this too is really perfect. And I like the peachiness underneath my eyes. So I use this basically underneath my eyes. It's a little bit on the thinner side if I want to actually spot conceal my face. So I will reach for either the Dior Backstage or the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer, which I've been talking about for years now. But this has been really great just for around the eye area, just for a little light coverage, kind of a nourishing kind of concealer. It's really not thick, high pigment, that kind of concealer. It really is on the thinner, more natural side, which I'm really preferring, again, especially during the summertime. And if I have a light, almost no actual coverage kind of base on, I like a concealer that kind of matches that whole vibe. So this has really been perfect. And I really, really like the texture. It doesn't crease. It's very nourishing, like I mentioned. It's really lovely. So that has become a favorite of mine. And it's a really nice addition to the two Dior concealers that I like. The Forever Skin Correct, I would say, is the creamiest. It has the most pigment. This is a little bit thinner, a little bit less pigment, but it really has some nice coverage. And then this one is even lighter. So I feel like I have a nice kind of concealer family going on here. So that is what I have underneath my eyes. And then for contour, I've really been loving the Westman Atelier Biscuit. I think I maybe mentioned this in my last month's favorite, but this was a product that I used when I first got into Westman Atelier, many years ago when she launched, and I decluttered this product because it was old. It's a cream product. I felt like it had turned a little bit, and I never repurchased it, was okay living without it. And then it re-entered my life. I think it was sent to me. I can't remember who sent it to me. I apologize, but it was sent to me in PR, and I was like, oh my gosh, Biscuit, I remember this, and I've been using it ever since. So I just add it to places where I just want to add a little bit of contour. So I added it just underneath my cheekbones here and the tip of my nose, just a little bit. It's such an easy product to use. It blends in like seamlessly. This is definitely a contour for beginners. If you've been intimidated by contour, you've been like wanting to dabble in it a little bit, I would say start with this one. It is just the perfect tone. It is on the cooler side, obviously, for a brown, but it's not too gray. I feel like there's a lot of contours out there that, they look really beautiful, but you catch it in a certain light and it's just really, really gray. It's super, super cool toned. This one I feel like is more of like the everyday average wear kind of cool toned brown. You know what I mean? It's not too gray. There's still a little bit of like neutrality in there. And I love it. I love it. The shade, the formula, the way it just like blends out. It is beautiful. So yeah, so I have that again, cheekbones and the tip of my nose, and easy to blend out. Fingers, brush, sponge, whatever you want. Easy to use. So that is the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick in Biscuit. And let's move on to bronzers, because this is bronzer season, no doubt. And I have been loving the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer. So after I contour, I pretty much put bronzer where I would get the most sun. So like the high points, basically where you think you would highlight. That's where I like to bronze. In the fall, winter time, I do like to bronzer, where I basically use bronzer for contour. But in the summertime, I really like to use it to give me like that kiss of sun. So this is what the cream bronzer looks like. It is a gigantic compact. It is a really beautiful, fun compact. And this cream product is, much like the Westman Atelier, it's just really easy to use. It blends out beautifully. I used a brush today and just put it on my forehead, brought it down my nose. I put it along my cheeks, like that under the sunglasses area here, and just brush some, on my cheek and lower jaw area here. Yeah, so it's just got a great formula, blends like a dream. But what is really fantastic about this bronzer is the tone. It's not too warm. It's like neutral, just a hint warmer than neutral, which I really enjoy for a bronzer. If it's too warm, I mean, that's kind of fun, like deep in the summertime, kind of like that orangey, peachy kind of bronzer. It looks really pretty on the skin. But normally I just like something that's a little bit warmer than neutral, so it doesn't look too orangey on the skin. It doesn't look too like fake tan. Gorgeous. So the tone, the texture, everything about this, the packaging, everything about this bronzer is incredible. So I've really been enjoying it. And I do believe like the lightest shade, maybe the two lightest shades have been sold out everywhere. And I just linked to it to Cosbar. Cosbar seems to have this in stock. I hope they still do. But anyway, I will leave a link to everything that I'm talking about down below in my description box if you're interested. So that is the Sun-Kissed, there's a whole long name for this, the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I just call it the cream bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. So been loving that. And one bronzer, I don't have it on today because it just would have been too much, but one bronzer I've really been reaching for is a powder bronzer, and the powder bronzer that I've been reaching for a lot. And this is the Bobbi Brown Illuminating Bronzing Powder in Aruba. It is shimmery. It is definitely illuminating. And I love, love, love this bronzer. This is a much warmer toned bronzer. So it has that, do you see that kind of peachy undertone to it? So I do like to focus this on my cheeks because I feel like it blends into blush really nicely if I'm gonna do kind of like a coral blush. It's very, very nice. All over the skin, it's beautiful too. It is illuminating, so there is that sheen to it. So I try not to just like all over my face. Otherwise it starts to look a little too much, but right on the cheeks, it's gorgeous, gorgeous. So I wanted to mention that. And then I'm not sure if you guys caught my Westman Atelier video that I posted on Wednesday, but I go through all of the Westman Atelier products, all of them except for the mascara. But I talk about all of them. I talk about all the shades that I have. And one of my like all-time favorite makeup products, not even just from West Atelier, but like all-time favorite makeup products, is her Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. And this was something that I remember I fell in love with when she first launched her line. This was one of the first products from her line that I tried. So this is the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Peau de Pêche. And this was the first one that she launched with. And she has since launched 3 more shades, and they're all absolutely gorgeous. But I do remember like not really sure what I was supposed to do with this. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful product. It's gorgeous when you swatch it. It's gorgeous in the pan. But it's like, is it a highlight? Is it a blush? Like, what is it? And over the years, I have come to think of this more as like an extension of your kind of like base complexion products. So I was actually lucky enough to join a Gucci Westman Zoom, and she used this just kind of like lightly all over the cheek, just to give a little bit of a sheen and a flush to the entire cheek. And I was like so excited and relieved to see her use it that way, because that's how I really enjoyed using it, because it does have quite a bit of pigment to it. And even though it's called highlight, I thought, I really can't use this just as a highlight. It would look very strange, but blended out and all over the cheek, it's just this beautiful like addition to your base products. So that's what I did today. I just sort of used the blender brush, which is an incredible brush to use with this product. It's like a flat top kabuki. This is the one from Westman Atelier. It is synthetic haired. Anyway, I just use it and I just kind of bring it up my temple and I bring it down. So I just like kind of put it all over my cheek basically. And it's amazing. It's like a nice base to whatever products you want to put on top. Blush, highlight, bronzer, contour, everything. It's such a beautiful, unique product, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. And I really haven't used it a lot over the past few years, but just over this past month, I feel like I've resurrected it, much like this Victoria Beckham. I feel like I've resurrected it, and now I feel like I can't get the makeup look I want without putting this down first. So that is the Westman Atelier Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. And if I were to recommend like the most neutral shade, I would say it's this Peau de Pêche. It's the one that she first came out with. Her latest one, the Peau de Santé, that is really gorgeous for the summertime because it's like a pinky, peachy kind of tone. But I do like the Peau de Pêche for just like everyday, most skin tones. I think will really get along with this. And then moving on to blush, we'll stick with Westman Atelier. I have been loving the Baby Cheeks blush stick in Pop It. And even though this is an incredibly cool toned pink, like very, very cool toned, I just feel like I can put it on with any kind of makeup look that I want. If I'm going with like coral lips and like a copper eye, just something warm in general, I can still put this on. I feel like it looks fine. So this product I have talked about a lot. So I'm not going to bore you, but great formula, beautiful, beautiful shade. So been wearing that a lot. I have been continuing to love the Say Dew Blush Cheek. I always forget if it's Dew Blush or Dew Cheek. Dew Blush in the shade Poppy. And this is just a beautiful coral liquid blush. I feel like all of the shades in this is gorgeous. But now that we are getting into summer, I feel like these colors, these shades are really calling to me. So yeah, I've been using this a lot, Poppy. But the blush that I had on today is from the Charlotte Tilbury Quick and Easy Makeup Kit in, which one did I get? This is, yes, Pretty Fresh Glow. And so these are the kits that come in this like hard plastic case. You flip them up, there's a mirror, and it comes with an eye wand, a lip and cheek, and highlighter. I love this kit. I love it so much. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this. I wasn't sure if this was something that I would actually find quick and easy, but I love all of the products in here. And the only downside to this product, and I'm not even sure if personally it's a downside for me, because I don't think I would just take out one of these wands. I mean, maybe, but these are refillable. And so they don't really come with a cap. They like have to live in this case. So some people were talking about how that's kind of like the downside to this, but I really enjoy it. I feel like I've been throwing this in my bag, and this is the cheek product that I have on my face today. So yeah, I just sort of dabbed straight from the stick onto my cheek, and then I took a brush and just kind of blended it out. You can use your fingers. Really, really nice formula. I don't really like using this product on my lips though, I will say. It's not quite emollient enough for me, but if you just want to add a little bit of color, you know, you kind of run your finger over it and just kind of dab it on your lips, it's fine. But if I go in like a lipstick, it's a little bit drying. It's not my favorite. The highlight is really, really gorgeous. It's much more emollient than the cheek lip product. So it has like a really nice glossiness to it. And then the Easy Eye Wand is like an eye crayon, and it's really, really pretty. I really like this particular set that I got. Yeah, pretty fresh set, but she has, I think, 5 in total. And she actually sent them all to me. I'm trying to get a video up just kind of swatching all of them and talking about all of them and the differences, because it's hard to tell online. The differences are very subtle. So anyway, I'm glad I picked up this one. This I felt like had the most like punchy cheek color, which again is something I'm attracted to in the summertime. So just wanted to mention this because I just think it's so much fun and I've really been enjoying it. And as for highlight, I'm like still surprised how much I enjoy this product. And I tried it, you know, filming with you guys for the first time. And ever since I did that video, I've just been using it because I'm surprised at how much I like it. I feel like, I tried it and tried it and tried it and was kind of waiting for it to kind of mess up, and it hasn't. It's just really, really great. So this is the Shimmering Face Oil from Jones Road. So I did like a Jones Road video, and I purchased 2 of these actually. I got 2 shades. This is Midas, and this one is Pink Opal. So I have Midas on, and what I like to do is just pump maybe 1 full pump onto the tips of my fingers, and then I just kind of mush it all around, kind of spread it out, and then I just kind of press it onto my skin. And because it's an oil, I thought for sure it was going to be messy, it was going to be goopy, it was going to just break down any makeup that I had underneath it, but it doesn't do any of those things. It's almost, not quite, but it's almost like a dry oil. And it definitely like kind of sets down, and it leaves this really beautiful, like soft satin sheen where it just makes your skin look really smooth. It doesn't have that super high shine, glossy, sweaty kind of highlight, which I definitely do not mind. But this is really, really gorgeous, I think. It's just this really smooth, satiny kind of finish. Yeah, I'm just surprised at how much I like this product because I was preparing to not like it because it's an oil, but it really is a wonderful, wonderful formula. I think it's pretty magical. And just so you know, there is a little bit of like a citrus scent to it. I don't really know. I didn't save the box, so I don't really know what makes it citrusy. If there's like a lemon oil in there or if it's just fragrance. I don't mind it, but I know some people don't like that. So I just wanted to mention it. But that is the Shimmering Face Oil from Jones Road. I just really, really love it. Okay, nothing new for eyebrows. Same old for eyebrows. Let's talk about eyeshadow. So the Sicily liquid eyeshadows, you guys have heard me talk about this product all month long. And I was about to put on one of these shades and I was like, no, let me use something else because you guys have seen me use this a gazillion times. But the 3 shades out of the 6 that I have been reaching for the most are these 3. So this is number 2, number 3, and number 5. So 2 and 3, I definitely use the most. They are like perfect one and done shades for me. Number 3 has a little bit of like a pinky tinge to it, and this has like a brown gold kind of tint to it. And number 5 is just a little bit deeper. I mean, you can see that it's not that much deeper, and when you blend it out on your lid, it's a very lovely like light wash. There's a little bit of shimmer, there's a little bit of glisten to it. I just think that these liquid eyeshadows are probably amongst the best liquid eyeshadow formulas I've ever tried. It is just really easy to use. They blend out. They do set down, I want to say, almost entirely. So I do work one eye at a time. but they just never act funky. Like there are so many liquid eyeshadows out there that just start to act really, really funky. They become patchy, they will crease, they will flake, they'll do really weird things. And that never happens with these Sisley eyeshadows. Like I said, I've been wearing them all month. I've been wearing them all day. I wear them when I film, when I go out and run errands, and they've never done me wrong. So I love these, absolutely love these. But I did want to mention another like one and done eyeshadow that I have been loving, and it's the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick in Smoky Topaz. So I decided to put this on for you today, something a little bit different because, again, you've seen me put and wear the Sisley so many times this month. But this is the shade Smoky Topaz. Let me just do a swatch here. And it is like the most gorgeous metallic taupe. You guys know how much I love a metallic taupe. And Bobbi Brown just recently added, I think, 10 new shades. They like revamped the formula a little bit. So I loved these Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks. And when I found out they reformulated them, I was like, they better not have messed this up. I like the reformulation better. I find that they actually blend more easily. I didn't think that was possible, but they blend more easily. I love the new shades that they added. They all have like a little bit of shimmer to them, which I think is just great for like a one and done shadow. And they actually last longer. So I think the old formula, the wear time was like 8 hours, up to 8 hours. These are up to 12 hours. So it's really just, yeah, they just really knocked it out of the park. So this is what I have all over my eyes. And it's so easy. I just draw it right on and I blend it out with my fingers. You can use a brush. And it's just a great one and done shadow. And there's so many beautiful new shades. So I wanted to share that with you. And eyeliner. I don't feel like I usually have a lot of like eyeliners to talk about, but Hourglass came out with these Voyeur waterproof gel eyeliner. And I just can't stop using them. I love them so much. And you guys know, I still love my Wayne Goss Essential Kohl pencils. And I can't even think of other eyeliners that I love right now. I've been loving these so much. So I have Cave, which is a dark brown shade. I have that basically like tight lining. And then I have Solstice, which is this like really fun kind of bronzy shade. It has like a little bit of a metallic sheen to it. And I have that like lower lash line waterline. I love that combo. Sometimes I'll just use Solstice both top and bottom. Sometimes I'll use Cave both top and bottom. But I really have been enjoying this formula. It doesn't budge at all. It just won't budge. It just stays put. The line is very, very consistent. It's not even like it fades at all. It is incredible. And I will say though, the trade-off with that is it does take a little bit for me to remove them at night, especially because I put them in my waterline. I feel like I kind of have to get in there a little bit to remove it. So that's the trade-off. I think it's worth it, especially when it comes to eyeliner. I just don't want that smudging. It's just not a good look. But yeah, these have really been fantastic. So the Hourglass Voyeur waterproof gel eyeliners, really, really great. And I don't really talk about mascaras that much, but I have been really enjoying this new one from Lancome. First of all, it comes in this massive glass package. It's really cool. It's actually easy to hold, even though it's like on the heavier side. It's pretty weighty, but it's got all these waves on it. It's really neat. Is it practical? Is this something you're going to want to throw into your purse or travel with? Probably not. But I thought this was really quite special. And this is I didn't even tell you the name, the L'Etui Hypnose mascara. That's as good as it's going to get. So what I love about this mascara is that the formula is a little bit on the drier side, which is great. I don't like wet mascara formulas. I just feel like what a mess I'm making. It just, yeah. And I don't like that feeling of it, even though most mascaras set down completely. I just don't like the feeling of wet mascara. And I really like what it does to my lashes. It's very natural. I don't feel like it makes them real like thick and clumpy. I don't feel like it necessarily like separates each lash. So I have these like spider leg lashes. It just makes them look very fluffy, very natural, actually holds my curl really nicely. It's just a really pretty mascara, and that's what I love about this one. So wanted to mention that. But let's move on to lips, which I think is pretty funny because I did not have one lip product to talk about. When I sit down and make my list, I just first think about all the things that I know I like grabbed for, the things that really impressed me over the month. I go over my videos and I'm like, oh yeah, that one, I really love that one. That's right. I've been using that a lot, just to kind of like jog my memory. And there were no lip products that really stood out to me. And I think it's because I tried a lot of lip products and they all had a minty flavor to them. And I don't like that. I don't like minty. Like the Hourglass Voyeur eyeliners, they were released at the same time with their like moisturizing lipsticks. They're very, very pretty, but they're minty. I tried the Jones Road lip gloss in the tube. Really pretty, but kind of minty. I also tried the Rowan lip glosses. Those were actually really, really pretty, but kind of minty. And so I never kind of reached for them again. So the only lip product that kind of stood out to me is this oldie but goodie, but this is the Louboutin So Good lipstick, I think. And I whipped this out for Risa's birthday party. I don't know if you guys caught that vlog. And I've been wearing this kind of ever since. It's such a beautiful formula. It's so soft and moisturizing and comfortable, but it's not too soft. It doesn't feel like goopy or anything on the lips. It just goes on beautifully. Like this is an incredible, incredible formula. So that's it for lips. Nothing else really stood out to me. A lot of stuff that I've been wearing, like the Hermes lip oils, the Westman Atelier Squeaky Clean liquid lip balms, my Chanel lip glosses, my Tom Ford lip glosses I've been wearing. Just nothing like really jumped out at me except for this one. So anyway, last but not least, and I wanted to put this on with you guys, is the Westman Atelier Vital Press Skincare Powder. I have been really, really enjoying these powders ever since I purchased them. So I do have the three, I guess you could say the lightest shades. I have Translucent, which is literally translucent, but it looks white in the pan. I do have Pink Bubble, which is this very light pink. It is meant to brighten. And then I have Creme, which is the lightest flesh tone powder. So did that Westman Atelier video and I put the translucent under one eye and the pink bubble underneath another eye. And I was sure that this was going to be more brightening, but I felt like this was more brightening. And then the creme is just a really beautiful, just, if I just want to not necessarily brighten, but if I want all the benefits of this powder, like making some shine go down, pore minimizing, blurring, all of those things. So since I have this kind of tinted primer down, I think I'm gonna go with creme today. So I'm gonna use my Westman Atelier powder brush and just pick up a little bit, and I'm gonna focus it right here where I have larger pores, and it does seem a little shinier than the rest of my face. So there's the powder and there's without. Isn't that so good? It's so good. I love how it mattifies. You can see I'm not quite as shiny, right, as I am on this side, but it doesn't look dry. I still have a really soft, radiant satin finish going on, and it's so blurring, so blurring, so pore minimizing. It is incredible. So that's why I wanted to do this with you guys, apply this. And I can't believe how little powder I need. I literally just tap this brush into the pan and that's it. And that's what I used on each side. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more between my brows, down my nose, and that's it. This is a really beautiful, magical powder. All right, that is it for this month's favorites. Let me know what some of your favorite products have been down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.